perhaps you can update now, some of the companies or some of the technologies that you're involved with, and where do you see it going?
I launched this company, Autheos, or a version of this company, Autheos, about 3 years ago. It was when I was asked to join on and sort of redevelop the product. It was a content management system that was focused on video content, basically pushing video contents from brands like Philips, L'Oreal, Microsoft to the resellers that they were selling through, so e-commerce platforms. So making sure that as we're visiting sites online, that there was some sort of more engaging content that consumers could watch in order to understand a little bit more about a product. And so I was asked to basically evolve the proposition into something that was more delivering more value for the clients on the brand side and the digital commerce side, and also tapping into a really large amount of data that we had access to, given the way that our technology works. So basically, about 3 years ago, when I came onto the company, I did a lot of research and a lot of customer interviews to understand what are some of the challenges that the brands and marketeers and e-commerce platforms are facing in delivering a great user experience. And specifically around video, a lot of people have this idea in their mind that video is helping the consumer journey, but they just didn't understand to what commercial effect, how it really is influencing the decision-making process of consumers. So that was really what I latched onto, and we started just creating a lot more measurement capabilities with our technology. So it's cookie session based every time. So it's an embed code that's installed on either a brand's own consumer site or a sort of Amazon-like reseller site. And every time a consumer pops onto one of their pages, our code is launched and certain metadata is sent to us along with certain events data. Are they clicking on certain things? Are they watching the video? What sort of interaction do they have with the video? Are they purchasing the item or not? All of that is being fed into models that are basically are understanding relationships between these different data points and trying to make predictions on whatever that reward KPI is that we're focusing on. So that it's sort of evolved into this platform that's all focused on creating a better consumer experience, so helping the brands to understand more about the optimization of their content so that they can deliver a better message to their consumers and trying to sell the product. And also from a performance perspective, being able to show the content in a contextually relevant way that's going to help the consumer to buy that product more quickly and more confidently. So in terms of the technology and the techniques that we're using, it's first it was all about collecting the data, doing all the modeling, exploring the relationships between these data points, and then it's evolved into a number of different applications of artificial intelligence, machine learning, basically to be able to predict using all these historical data points what content is going to perform best for that specific consumer in that specific context where they are in their decision-making process. We also have used computer vision to detect items within video that is then used to overlay on certain performance trends that we see, and we funnel those insights back to brands and help them to basically craft a smarter, more data-driven video strategy. On top of that, there's also this element of maybe more simple logic-based video algorithms using different inputs like the time of day, the device they're on, what social media campaign they're being driven from. And that's really where I see also a lot of interesting things that tie into my own background of promoting this sense of inclusivity. So a lot of marketeers are using advertising as a mechanism to try Google, like YouTube or Instagram, Facebook. They're creating these audiences that are targeting certain demographics or certain interest groups. And then they're creating these campaigns that are really resonant. But then once they drive traffic from those social media campaigns onto their site, it all collapses. And there's this very generic marketing message or visual message that's being shown to the consumer. So that's a lot of really from my own background, realizing that there's all of these different types of people around me who make decisions differently, have different attention spans, look different than me, and they should all be, delivered with some sort of a great experience with the brand that reflects their own personality and interests. So that's a lot of what I'm excited about. And I think so I speak a lot about video intelligence, basically how to use data to create smarter video strategies for brands. I speak about social media trends, digital trends, and we met at the Hague Summit talking about accountability in the digital age. And for me, that's an area that's super important. Obviously, as we get more and more sort of precise in how we're targeting different audiences, we really need to understand how can we safeguard this data? How can we create tools so that if somebody doesn't want to be part of this campaign, we can extract them and make sure that they're not part of any of these more targeted tactics. And then also, being a thought leader in this area that's still quite untapped and unexplored. I find it super interesting.